Hey guys, Mumbles here with another Escape from Tarkov video. I hope you guys are having a great day. This is the episode where we're actually getting into a tutorial series of how and what to do when you get started and actually start up the game itself when you get ready for your first couple raids. So what you're going to see here is the wipe day, because this is done way after wipe day. I do assume we have a wipe day coming up, so I'll probably refilm this here in a little bit. But for the most part, what we're going to look at is what I'm doing through the menus, how I'm getting my stuff ready, what I'm doing in the traders and such like that, and kind of explain what I'm doing in those scenarios, and then give you guys a couple things to do before you go into your first live raid. So first off, we're going to jump in, and just pretty much I'm going to walk you through. There's going to be no game sound because we're pretty hyped and excited on wipe day. So we're going to jump in, and I'm just going to explain to you what I'm doing through the menus to get ready for wipe. So what you're going to see here is I'm going to go ahead and pick my character. You can choose Bear or USEC. I chose USEC this wipe. Last wipe I was Bear, so I wanted to switch it up for you. You can now go through and change your face. I know Battlestate Games is trying to change so that you have more faces, more voices, more uniforms, and more customizability when you're making your character. There is multiple voices. They all sound kind of alike, but they all have different tones and kind of different sounds to them, so kind of choose the one that you like, and you can kind of play around with these to see what you like. And you're going to hit next, and then once you hit next, it's going to bring you to the main menu. Now what you're going to see here in the main menu is I'm going to go ahead and clear out my handbook because I didn't want that. You can just click the little notification, and I'm going to go in and see what I have for weapons, gear, meds, fuel, materials, what they gave me. Now with this, however, there is with EOD, you get a lot more gear, so keep that in mind. So if you have the standard account, which I do recommend off the start with the standard account. If you love the game, then upgrade. You don't have to rebuy the game, you can just upgrade your package. And so I'm just kind of going through, seeing what gear I have, what ammo I have, consolidating all my stuff, because I have the rigs I want to put stuff in. I'd stack my backpacks immediately. I'm kind of going through, they gave us whiskey. Not sure why. Probably something just to sell to make 36,000 rubles. They also give you a couple nice things like the Trooper rig, the AVS, multiple M4s, MDR, Propanols, fuel. They gave you quite a bit of stuff. Now here you'll see I'm going to go into the traders, hit task, and accept all my tasks for each trader. I believe only Prapper and Therapist, maybe Mechanic may have a quest. A lot of the quests unlock at level 2, so then we do see that their tasks change, so I'm kind of going through and just seeing what the different tasks are, because they are changed. For all the items have to be found in raid rather than just being able to be bought off the market. So you see me, I go through all the traders, and now I'm going to start examining stuff. Now you can do this by right clicking and hitting examine, or you can just click the mouse button down on the button part. So the button function of the wheel, you can go ahead and press that to examine each item. Now, this gives you a bunch of XP in the bottom right that you can see. I believe if you examine everything and get a decent amount through fence, you can actually get to level 2 just by examining the items. Now, when you do this, too, what this means is, so when you go into a raid, when you find an item, you don't have to search the item if you did it all through the traders here. So if you examine all the items in the traders, you now have less time spent searching and looting and all that kind of stuff to minimize the time that you're looting, so you're not sitting in one spot for too long. Allows you to get the items and get out, because you can't pick up an item until you examine it. So that's why you go through Prapper and Fence. Fence is really useful because a lot of people just throw random stuff up there, especially early wipe. So definitely go through Fence, refresh it every time you're out of a raid, examine the items that you haven't seen, and that way you have less stuff that is, I guess, you have to examine in raid. Now what you're going to see here is I'm going to go into the hideout now, and we're going to go ahead and start everything that we can just spend money on. So any of the icons that glow green, you can automatically construct. So go through your stations that are green, hit construct on them, and that'll allow you to start all of these stations in the hideout that you need to start to get the hideout kind of going. And this, most of these will be instant. Some of them will take a few minutes, so that way you can go to raid, go scav, do something to kind of pass the time there. Also, you can go through these stations that do allow crafting, and you can examine items here as well, so that you can get the XP, as well as not having to, again, examine those in the field. So first thing you want to do is go to the med station and start crafting your Salewas, because you do need 3 of those for the quest, and you can craft them right off the bat now at the med station. Now, here's going to be the time that we do something a little different. So instead of just going into a live raid for your first time, we're going to do something a little different. I'm going to show you that here. All right, so before you go into an actual live raid with other players, What I want you to do is gear up your guy as much as possible. Bring plenty of extra mags, plenty of ammo, grenades, anything you're going to need, meds, anything. And then what I want you to do is go into an offline raid. You go to Escape from Tarkov, choose your PMC, gear up as best as possible. I recommend factory first just so you can get the gunplay down. So you're going to make sure you choose the 1528 slot. You're going to hit enable offline mode, hit enable PvP, choose your difficulty. I recommend starting at like medium. Easy is like easy. If you've never played a FPS shooter before, try doing easy then. As online is actually harder than easy in medium, and probably even hard, honestly. Probably not as hard as impossible, but I recommend going to a various difficulty. And then AIM choose high, medium, high, or horde. Because this kind of affects the rate at which bots spawn. And especially if you're trying to do factory and you're trying to learn gunplay and that kind of stuff, you want there to be a lot of people, a lot of AI bots. So I've always done horde. You don't need to click any of these. You can enable bosses if you want raiders and bosses on other maps. Factory is no boss, so you can't. Doesn't work anything. Tagged and curse makes them all charged to you. I personally don't like this because instead of them just spawning everywhere, they kind of just charge to you in one giant line, and it's not much actual like kind of gunplay drills. It's more of just shooting a straight line of people coming at you. Scav war means the scavs will shoot each other, which sometimes can be fun because it can give you cues where scavs are, and then you can they also kind of spawn quicker as well because they're also killing each other, causing them to respawn. And so I want you to hit next. There should be no one looking for a game because you're in offline mode, and then just hit ready for the game to jump in. So once you spawn in, what I want you to do is kind of just walk around the map, learn it, get to understand the area and how it looks, while also fighting scavs and using your gun. Go around, kill a few scavs, and then kind of just have fun. Because if you die, you don't lose your gear in offline raid. So the main thing I want you to learn from offline raids is gunplay and going to maps. I want you guys to focus on one map, besides Factory. Factory is very small. It's more like your Call of Duty Team Deathmatch kind of free-for-all map. I want you guys to either start out on customs. Shoreline's not awful to start out on. It's a lot of running around. Woods is kind of hard to start out on because it's a lot of snipers, and if you don't know what to look for, it's kind of hard to know where those snipers are and you're probably going to get killed. So I would probably start out on customs, factory, and if you want to venture away from those two, then start on shoreline. Shoreline and customs are probably going to be the two maps with the most quests. Interchange also has a good chunk of quests, but however, it is full of juicy, thick boys and chads. So kind of go towards more of the customs and shoreline for now. Learn those maps as a whole, learn them in and out before you move on to learning more maps. You don't want to go and learn all the maps at once because then you're not going to know where you are. I use a program called Overwolf that I can just hit like Control T and it'll bring up my map, or Control R. I can't remember what the key button I put on. That, or if you have a second monitor, you can just put the map up on your second monitor and don't have to download something else. And then you can kind of just play and kind of in offline mode, kind of just figure out where you are, how to get to places, turn scavs off, just to kind of get the area known. And then turn scavs on so you can see where scavs spawn, because there's going to be a lot of quests where you're going to have to go kill scavs. So the main parts about getting started is pretty much just kind of messing around with your person, your character, and your menus, like your traders, getting your quests, checking out your gear that you were given, gearing up your guy to go play in offline mode, examining the items just so you can gain experience throughout the game, and then you don't have to examine it in raid, because if you want to examine it in raid, then you're sitting longer and you're more likely to be a target. The biggest thing, though, is the offline mode. Utilize offline mode so that you can learn the maps, learn how the game's played. There's a lot of weird mechanics with this game, so go ahead and use offline mode to gather those mechanics and understand them and how they work so that you can exploit them to win your gun battles. Like leaning, like slow leaning, the different speeds, the different heights you can crouch at, all those kind of things you want to make sure that you understand so that you can better yourself in a gunfight to win. I don't recommend going into like a live raid right off the start. You're gonna die a lot in this game, so try offline mode, understand the game, play against scavs to get your aim correct, and then our next episode we'll actually talk about going into our first live raid. And I'll gear up my guy like I'm going into a first live raid and kind of walk you through my mindset, what I'm doing, what I'm trying to do, and just kind of how I'm playing the game as it is. So there you guys go. I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope this kind of helps you guys out with kind of just understanding what to do on your first day of Tarkov. Go check out my other videos about the hideout, meds, everything. You guys are absolutely fantastic. Thank you guys so much for joining me. You guys drop a like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell if you guys like this video. We do go live just about every day, as well as new videos once. We usually have one video a week, and if not, we have 2 videos a week. So we're kind of pumping out the content as well. So I hope you guys liked it. Have a great night. Goodbye. Deuces.